Take two. Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 393. It's April 6th, and I have a really cute card for you tonight. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. All right, so hold on. So as I said, it's April 6th, and I did a thing. I'm just going to move my light for a moment. I organized all my new stamp product and went to Michael's to purchase some containers to hold my new designer series paper. And I wanted to be able to access it easily. So if you can see, I have my cube over there, and then I have my brushes, and then I have all the embellishments over there, and then I have over at the top there, I have the product that has been in the online suites, or or from the catalog moving to the online exclusives, and then I have the new online exclusives. So that's where I keep my product. And now all the stamp sets that are there, those are my catalog stamp sets, so I know where to find things. And then I have another one of these cubes underneath my table. And so then let me just show you. I have all my inks and the re-inkers, and I have the new in colors over there at the end. All right, so we're just going to move you down to the table, and that was just a little introduction. Oh, this is really tight. I didn't loosen it up too much. All right. Gosh darn it. There we go. Sorry for that if you're watching. Okay, so we're just going to tighten this up. I did that once where I tightened it too much and loosened it up and it came undone. So that's happened too. All right, so let's get this. Is this live? Yes. All right. I'm going to squish this in a little bit and put that camera or that light on the subject. All right, so let's start out. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net, and penguinz33 at outlook.com is my email address that you can request the new catalog that's coming out if you do not have a demonstrator. Now, if you have placed an order with me since January of 2024 through now, I have automatically sent you a catalog. Now, if you do not have a demonstrator, then I will send you one if you request it. So this is the annual catalog, and that ends, placing the date through here, is May 5th. Now it says on here through the end of April. However, the new catalog starts May 6th. So May 5th is technically when this one ends. Now the spring mini catalog, that also ends at the end of April. Now, when Stampin' Up! Gets to a new catalog, which is this one right here, I had it spiral bound, and I had a chance to go put my tabs in. Now this one here says Coneflower Celebrations. I do not have that one, but I will be getting it, so I wanted to put the tab up in there anyways. So just in case somebody is looking at that and is going to point that out, I do not have that. But anyways, Stampin' Up! Has placed quite a bit of product from this catalog and the online exclusives in the last chance products list. And so a lot of these products that are built around the in colors that are retiring, that is the boho blue, and let's see, copper clay, moody mauve, pebbled path, and wild wheat. Some of that product is already sold out. So it's while supplies lasts. So if something is not moving over to the new catalog, it's going on this list. Once it's sold out, it's going to go on the discontinued list and will not be what's the word? I can't think of it. Words are hard. It will not be replenished. There we go. And so check out the last chance list. They have also some deep discounts on items. So it's a great time to go shopping. Now, an online exclusive is something that is not going to see the catalogs. And so today we are actually going to play with an online exclusive that was released in the beginning of March, and it's called Botanical Textures Sweet Collection. Now, this is something that is really cool because Stampin' Up! Actually, and for the first part of it, I really didn't care for this. It's called the Woven Textures Designer Series paper. And I saw some samples that people had done with it, and I fell in love with that. And so we're going to actually be using this sweet collection tonight. Now, the only thing that I'm not using is the ribbon. And I just realized that. I'm actually using the thread that is available it's available right now. And where did I put it? It's not in my bin. Oh, there it is. It comes in a pack of 5, and it's called the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And we're going to be using that tonight. Now, this page 127 is in the new catalog, so this is actually moving over. And so we're going to play with this suite. And let me show you the card that we're making tonight. And somebody is actually going to get a chance to win this card. And it's actually really easy to get in the entries to get into the drawing. All you have to do is, number 1, do a thumbs up or a heart. That gets your name entered into the drawing. If you leave a comment and say hi, maybe where you're from, if you're new to my channel, I love to know where people are from. And that gets you entered into my drawing. And then the last thing that gets entered is if you share this on your timeline, and you get entered 2 times. So you have 4 different ways to win this card that we're going to make tonight. So I am using almost everything out of that suite. Now, like I said, this is an online exclusive, so it's not going to be anything that you're going to see in the catalog. So let's look at things a little bit closer and what we're using. Now, we're also going to be using the stylish shapes. So in the new catalog, it's going to be on page 107. And so we're also using the bundle. Now, a bundle means that when you purchase the stamp set and the dies together, you save 10%. Now, when you purchase a suite collection, you only enter 1 number and you get 1 of everything. And that is really cool. Now, if you can see the actual textures, every one of these rectangles is different. And we're actually using 3 of those tonight. So we got 2 here plus the long one. Now, I actually put mine on magnets. Ooh, Terry, hi. Welcome. How you doing? So we're going to be using this suite tonight. And also, like I said, the stylish shapes. And then let me show you that designer series paper. Now, I really, like I said, wasn't really interested in this designer series paper, just because what do you do with woven textures? And I fell in love with it. So this is the designer series paper, and instead of, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets, okay? You get 3 sheets of each. So that way you don't feel so bad using it up. And it comes with colors that are coordinated are Basic Beige, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Gray Granite, and Pecan Pie. Then Stampin' Up! Also had this designer series paper in the same suite. Now, I think that's really cool. And black and white is my favorite designer series paper because it is so easy to color this up. Now, you can use your Stampin' Blends to color that up. You could use blending brushes to change those colors. And same thing with everything here. I just love it. Now, black is the only color that it really came with, but I thought that the basic gray and the smoky slate cardstock coordinated well with this as well. So that is also in that suite collection. We're going to be using the neutral matte dots, and I'm just going to pull this out. Now, I like to put a slit on the side of my embellishments. That way I can find it's easier to open than going through that sticky at the end. So it comes with white, black, vanilla, or a cream, and then I would say maybe crumb cake, pecan pie. I would think pecan pie and crumb cake would be really good with those. Plus, okay, that could be basic beige. I mean, that looks pretty close. It could be also vanilla. So, I mean, the colors coordinate really well. So we're going to be playing with that as well. And so that's the neutral matte dots that belong to this suite. And then let's see here. Now, part of that suite is this. This is really cool. It is a mini corrugated embossing folder, and it's a 3D embossing folder. And so we're going to be using that tonight in the card. Anything else? We're also going to heat emboss. So it's going to be a pretty cool card that we're making. Also, it's going to be something that you can recreate using different products and still have the same look, but using, again, different products. So let me show you we're going to put those over to the side so I know where to find them. Okay, so here are the measurements and the products that we're going to be using. Okay, so I have a scrap of gray granite, a 3x3 square of that designer series paper, another scrap of the so that's woven. So the first one was Botanical. This is Botanical textures, and this is woven textures. And so that is a sheet that is 2.5 by 4, and then we have a piece of basic gray, and we're going to I'm going to show you a technique with this card, or with this piece. Then the gray granite, it is 5.5 by 4. This is a card base, so this is 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4.25. So we're going to do some tone on tone. And then the inside panel is 4.75 by 3.5. Now I'm just going to let that sit there for just a moment. And the reason why I like to do this is so that way, if you say, you know what, Joy, I don't have that Botanicals Textures Suite collection, but I do have this. That way you can come back, you like the layout, you know what video it is. It is number 393, and you can come back and recreate it. Now I'm going to take a drink here. All right, finished all my water. Okay, so that way you can come back in, recreate it. Now, if you like this suite and don't have it, it is an online exclusive. So that means that it's while supplies lasts. So while you think about it, go in my online store and type in Botanical. and then that will automatically pop up. And if you want to order the whole suite, you could certainly do that. If you wanted to order the bundle, you could certainly do that. But a suite collection means there's only one number. Hi, Judy, welcome. So that there's only one number to type in rather than one number for every single thing. Plus, you're also saving that 10% when you do get that suite collection on the bundle. So that is a really cool thing to look at. Now, we're just going to put these off to the side because we're going to actually stamp a little bit right now. Okay, so let's get this. And this, we're going to use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And so we're going to do that, and that, and that. And I'm going to show you how to make, you got a card in the mail, Judy, huh? Glad you love it. I'm glad that you watch my videos and, you know, you get, and we're going to do some stamping. Now, first of all, we're going to do the inside of the card base. Now, we're going to use, now this is a red rubber stamp set, so we do not need to have the Stampin' Piercing mat, but I have the piece of paper here to protect my surface. So that's actually the reason why I'm using it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Versamark pad, and we're just going to create a, what you call a watermark. And so it just kind of shows up a tad bit darker than the cardstock. Some of this is going to get covered up a little bit, but that's okay. That's the idea. And we're going to put a little bit right in there. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good, but we're going to get that little spot right there. Okay, so this is a little sticky, all right? But, so we're going to take that and we're going to wash that off in just a moment. And we're going to use this in just a moment, again, in a different way. But see what this is going to do. It's going to allow that to show up. I want another leaf right there. So, there. I want that to show. Okay, there. Now it's pretty much even. Okay, so we're going to use the Versamark pad in two different ways. And we're going to put that right there so we can, again, find it. And then we're going to let that, it doesn't need to dry, but it's a little stickier. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to emboss. So we're going to use that Versamark to do our greeting with that. All right. Okay, so we're going to actually grab this one here, and that is going to be in gray granite. So I'm just going to move that to the side right there. And then we're going to do this piece right here, which it looks like it's just a little texture. Woven texture, I guess. That's the reason why they call it woven texture. All right, so we're going to stamp this down at the base and kind of stamping off a little bit. And just like that. And then now we're actually going to go and flip this around and kind of hit it again. And a little bit more over here. Okay, so that's the bottom of our card. You know, I like to take the card that is from the outside and kind of bring it into the inside. So then that way, it's not, you got to bring the party, you know. Can't just have the party outside, got to have the party on the inside as well. So we're going to stamp this in Smoky Slate, and we're going to go once, twice, I'm sorry, Gray Granite. Smoky Slate was the texture there. And we're going to stamp that right in there. So that is the third generation. And so this is Smoky Slate, and that's Gray Granite. All right, so now that we're done with that, and close that up, and I'm going to grab the memento pad. Well, Judy, I'm glad you won that card. And hopefully the person that you send it to is going to, or you can also keep the card as inspiration. Let's see. There we go. We're going to go thank you. And so that's the inside of our card. So I really like sending off a card to somebody that watched my video, took the time out of their day, and I'm going to use Stamp and Seal, and took the time out of their day, watched the video. Now, you can also watch the replay. Now, one thing, Facebook is actually going to, actually, they're in the process right now of changing their videos. And what they've done is Facebook Lives, they only have a life of 30 days. So you have only 30 days to go back in, watch my videos, and then share them so that other people can be inspired. So that's the inside of our card. Isn't that cool? And then now we're going to actually use the, I'm going to make sure that that is pretty well, we're going to do some heat embossing. But anyways, so thank you very much. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking my Facebook Lives and I'm downloading them onto my YouTube channel. So if you're new to me, I also have a YouTube channel, and I've been trying to take some of my previous Facebook Lives, and I'm going to grab a sheet, my scrap piece of paper that's removable. But anyways, I'm moving my Facebook Lives over to YouTube so that people can also find it there. So, okay, so let's see here. Next we're going to do is we took the, when you get the embossing toolkit, you get the kit that includes the embossing buddy, paintbrush, the reversible tweezers, and then now Stampin' Up! Sells the Wow, and there's two different families. You got one that is the new, I think, what is it? There's two different kinds, so this one includes the black, the clear, and the white. And then you have another one where it has the gold, silver, and I think it's copper. I have it, but I don't remember right now. So, okay. So anyways, I took the embossing buddy, and I always do the embossing buddy inside here as well, because this is Minnesota. We are in the climate of static in the winter. Now it's technically spring. We don't have any snow unless there was a previous snowbank, and a snowbank doesn't see. Ooh, there's a cardinal in the tree, which I have not seen before. Okay, so anyways, we're going to be doing that. Now, I like to use the embossing buddy on the inside of my tray so that when I put the embossing powder back in, it's a lot easier. Okay, so then we also took that embossing buddy and put it on the gray granite. So it keeps the extra embossing powder from sticking. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so we're going to use the Versamark ink pad, And I like to keep my lid on until I'm done, just because, number one, I have cats. Number two, I'm doing a video and I could certainly make a boo-boo and dump it or hit it, or, you know, it's Facebook Live. Okay, so we are going to do the greeting that says, "You are seriously the best." And I just think that that is a really good card for you to win, and then you can send it to somebody. And then it says thank you. So that we hit Inversamark, and I'm just going to allow that ink to transfer. It's going to be clear. You might be able to see that on camera. I'm not sure. And then I'm going to put that lid right back on. Again, those sprinkles can go anywhere. So I'm going to put this in the tray. And I'm just going to hit that with that and just tap it. And hopefully the embossing buddy did a really good job, except for that there's a couple extra pieces right here that I would like to just bounce off. So all I try to do is just tap it with my brush to kind of get that little bugger away. Come on. Now this is a Stampin' Up! Paintbrush from a long time ago. Like I said, 1999. So I don't generally keep a lot of the retired product. I'm pretty happy with all the stuff that got. I'm going to heat that up. Okay, so like I was saying, I generally don't keep retired product. I try to sell it. And I'm just going to actually take this stuff here and put this in, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to do that off camera and after we're done, because why watch? Okay, so anyways, let's see, do we need that? We don't need that anymore. But like this, it's a Stampin' Up! Paintbrush, and that comes seriously in handy a lot. Now these are reversible tweezers, and what they do is you squeeze them together and it opens up. Okay, now I'm going to hold, and this is ceramic so that you don't burn yourself. Now this heat gun was a Stampin' Up! Gun that we sold a long time ago, but there's a newer one that is, it's been a while. It's been in the catalogs for a long time. It has 2 speeds, but once this one dies, then I can buy that. All right, so I'm going to just heat this up for a second, and then I'm going to allow you, that's going to allow you to watch the coolness of heat embossing. And let's see if you can watch. And I'm going to do it from behind. And maybe you can see that taking place. I'm just heating it up. It's going to go from a powder to a shiny all right, and then we're just going to hit it from the top just to double check we got everything. All right, and see how nice and shiny that is? It's always, that's actually what got me into stamping. In 1997, I went to a friend of mine was having a Stampin' Up! Party. And so she showed me, a bunch of girlfriends went away for the weekend, you know, without their hubby and their kids. And she came back and she's like, "Joy, I made this." And I'm like, "Wow, that's really cool." And she goes, "Well, I'm going to have a party. Do you want to come?" And I said, "Sure." Well, in order to get that work catalog at the time for free, you had to host a workshop. So I did. And so I got that catalog. And Stampin' Up! Was not exclusive. Stampin' Up! Did not have their own stamp sets, their own color. And so now I'm going to go grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I'll be right back. But anyways, that's when they did not have, like, the markers did not match the paper. And the cardstock did not match the ink pads very well. All right, so we're going to actually put that on here at a slight angle and not try to cut anything off, but we're going to put it more towards the left, and we're going to put that Post-it note on it. But then that year, let's see, I think in 99, I joined in 1999 in August so that I could go to the Minneapolis Stampin' Convention, because that was what we called convention back then, is now called On Stage now. And that was in Minneapolis. And so I was like going, it's here, I could join. And so I did that. Never thought that I would still be stamping. Now, if you noticed, these are rectangles, so they have a flat edge. You do not want to put your rectangle or anything with a flat edge straight in. You want to put it at an angle. That way, it doesn't put all the pressure onto your rollers, and it helps give you a better cut. And also, it treats your... It helps your Stampin' Cut and Boss machine to behave, basically. Oh, sorry, I moved that out of the way. Okay, so there we go. We're going to use this a couple times. There we go. So I'm going to take this and put that on my magnetic sheet that's over there. And this one, isn't that a nice etched? Now, one thing I really like about the decoration, the texture on all these rectangles, is that everyone's different, but it doesn't punch out things that get all over your table. I'm not a neat freak, but I'm pretty close. And I mean, look at the texture on that. If you were to win this card, you'd be able to see it up front, but that's what it looks like on that one. Okay, so we're not done yet. I'm going to show you how to take this rectangle and make it longer. So again, I don't want to put it in straight on, and I'm going to after I just told you not to, but because the technique that I'm showing you, I want to make sure that I'm showing you right. And okay, so we're starting over there. We're going to take the top cutting plate and put it through so that it's right at the edge. Okay, and it's not going to cut. And I'm just going to push that through until my handle starts to move. So then I know that my handle is going to grab it. So I'm actually going to move it out of the way because that's a little bit longer. Okay, so then now we're going to do the same thing. Okay, we're going to take this off, and I'm going to show you what it did. It did not cut all the way through. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to put this right at the edge, and we're going to try to grab where it's at. So I can kind of see the line right there. Okay, and so that's where it's going to go. The The indentations kind of line on, so it kind of catches. So if I wanted to, I could go a little bit longer, I think. Let's see here. Maybe see if we can get that to grab closer. No. Let's see. I found it better. There we go. It lines up better right there. So there we go. So we don't want it to cut right here. When I was doing my practice run, that's where I don't want it to cut, because that's what I did, is I cut it off. And so I basically defeated what I had already done. And I'm like, dang nabbit, I got to make sure I don't do that on my Facebook Live. All right, so we're going to go to the same spot that we were at. We're going to push this through. And so until the handle starts to move. All right, so hopefully we don't, hopefully it worked, because this is my actually first time doing this on camera. And when I was on my practice one, that was my first time ever doing that. So see how we made that longer than what it was intended to be. Okay, so normally this would cut it off. So basically, we're not cutting this edge by putting this top plate on it. You can do that with any die, and just practice it with scrap paper until you're ready to actually put it, on a card. Okay, so we're done with that. So the next thing that we're doing is, with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, is we're taking the 2 plates away. So this is the adapter plate, and this is the plate 1. This is the adapter plate 2. You get 2 plate 3s. Those are cutting plates. Now I like to keep one kind of dirty and then one clear. And then that way, when this one gets really bad, then I'll put this on the bottom and I'll get another clear one on top. And that kind of helps with the keeping things around a little bit longer. Okay, so then now we're going to do the mini corrugate 3D embossing folder that belongs in this suite. And this is the lid. Okay, so the Stampin' Up! Logo is the top. And it has, for the most part, they have a line. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to line up my cardstock. Now, my cardstock is longer here than what I want it to be. And it is the right amount right here. Okay, so this is how I want it. So what's going to happen is, when you put this through, it's not going to expand this way. It's going to expand this way. So you always want to have your cardstock going the opposite way. You always want to have it, because it's going to actually shrink it a little bit, okay, because of the indents. So you want it to have, so like this here, I'll show you. All right, so this is the only thing you need. And then for the 3D embossing folder, you need number 4. And then that's all you need to put it through. Okay, so we're going to just grab that. Okay. So we're going to put that back. We're going to open this up. Okay, so this is actually, depends on how you put your cardstock in here. This way does not, okay, let's talk about portrait landscape, okay? So when you put it in portrait style, the landscape area is not going to change, okay? But when you put it in this way, your landscape is going to change. So now I want to go and see how I want that 1/4 inch. So I want my edge let's see, this piece here is a 1/4 inch shorter. So I want to now go to my trimmer and just make sure that from here to here, I'm going to have a 1/4 inch shorter than this piece. So I shall be right back. And I only had to cut that much off. So when you use your mini corrugate folder, you want to, it doesn't take in, if you were to cut this at 4 1/4, it would shrink it, okay? Because it doesn't take in the ridges. Did I explain that right? So, and also it depends on how you want it to show up on your card. I mean, if you wanted it to go this way, then you would put I put it in this way with this part on the black line. If I wanted the lines to go landscape, then I would put that like that on the folder. So play around with it. Again, this is my first time. I just received these, this box on Friday. So I have been relabeling everything and putting things in new locations, and I reorganized my craft room so I could find things easier. And I did all the things that when you transition from one catalog to another catalog. And it's different now because now that we have a retired list that doesn't really retire anything until it sells out, then I kind of have to keep things around. All right. Okay, so now we can start putting stuff together. Now, if you were to put adhesive on here, you would basically smush your corrugatedness. So I am actually, number one, going to make sure that I'm putting that on the proper spot. And then again, I am going to leave enough space so that I will have an edge. And because this is corrugated, I want it to sit nicely and to lay and to be, oops. Okay, there we go. We got that nice border all the way around. And so I can burnish and make sure, because it's embossed, you want to have a good adhesive amount on there. Okay, so then now we are going to put this together. And again, we're going to do the same thing. Now, I'm going to grab my silicone mat and put the adhesive on the back now. And the reason why I'm doing it at the back is because I'm not going to smush anything. But I want to make sure that it has enough adhesive on it. Oh, I just ripped that off from my finger because it stuck to my finger. All right, so we're going to put the adhesive on there. Anybody ever do that before? Okay. So then now we're going to put that right there. I'm just eyeballing it, giving that a nice burnish so that everything stays. I love the fact that these textured dies are all different. Okay, so then now we're going to put the adhesive on here. And again, we are dealing with an embossed piece, so you want to make sure that it has a good amount of adhesive on it. And we're going to put that equidistant from the top and equidistant from the bottom. And let that texture sit. Okay. Then we're going to take our leaf piece. Now, like I said, I love the fact that there's 2 designer series paper that belongs to the suite. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool, and I am going to grab my dimensionals. I like to pop things up. I mean, with all this texture, it just, oh, I love it. And like I said, I did not really care for the basket. I mean, I am a kind of like I'm not a basket type person. I like more things, what's the word? Clean and symmetrical, I guess. But when I saw it on a card and with the two totally different papers on the same card, I mean, to me, that just doesn't go. But when you start actually seeing it put together on a card, I'm like, oh, I gotta have that. Okay, so then this is, like I said, this was a piece of scrap. And so now you have a way to, a reason to use the scrap and not to throw it away. Right, so we're going to take that and put that right at the end. Take the people poker, that's what I call that, and because I am the people it pokes. And so these are large dimensionals, these are mini dimensionals. Those are both in the in my online store. They're in the catalog, the annual catalog. And because this was raised up, okay, you want to make sure that the end piece is also got that raised up as well. And so I'm just going to put this not in the center. All right, I want that a little bit more over here. Okay. Right there. Okay. Then, okay, I mean, I love that. All right, so then we're actually going to take the neutral matte dots and we are going to use the dark smoky slate blends. And I am going to use my nib tip, which is when I color something like a rhinestone or any type of gem. I like to use my nib tips because I don't want to ruin my brushes. And as you can tell, there's no gray in this selection. And I thought that this would be perfect to introduce another color. Now, if I wanted to, this is the darker. All right, so that is that. So now I'm going to use my scissors. Whoa, get back here. Normally I use my putty part on my take your pick tool to grab them, but I don't like to do that after I color something because I just want to make sure that it stays that color and I don't lift anything off. So that is going to go right here in the corner. And then this one is going to go right up there, kind of creating that triangle. And so now, and because you have those two colors, you can change anything to match whatever your project is when you have the blends. Okay, so like I said, I am using, and I could use gray granite, but I wanted this color, which is crumb cake, to stand out a little different. I don't want it to blend in as much as I would if it was, I'm just trying to bring the colors all together. Now, another tip is I put little slashes at the top and at the bottom so that it depends on where I'm at, I can always find my end. Now, when you also have a curly Q, Okay, just take your fingers. I do not have fingernails. Okay, mine break, rip. I'm just going to take it and just straighten that out. And look at that. Okay, now we're going to take that and we're going to make a double. Oops, do not lose that. When I was first doing my first card, Bert was very intent on getting up on my lap because he was watching. Bert's my cat. He's one of my cats. And so he was very intent on watching my thread wiggle. He's like, string! There's this cat toy that we have that is like 5 different colors of ribbon on a wand. And almost every one of them just loves to go after that. They're a little crazy. All right, so that is about the size we want. So I'm just going to take that and just give that a fresh snip. These are Stampin' Up! Scissors from a long time ago, and we no longer sell them, and that's one of my things that I will refuse to get rid of is my craft and rubber scissors from a long time ago. Those are for my anything that's sticky and adhesives. Then my ribbon scissors, anything obviously ribbon, and then my paper snips. Oh boy, these things are sharp to the tip, and I love my paper snips. So I'm a scissor girl. When my husband comes in and takes one of them, I'm like, what are you cutting that for? Do not take my scissors. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so let's pull one, make them the same. There we go. Much better. Make sure it's tight. Okay. And I think I'm happy with that. And we're going to put that right there at the end. So we're going to grab the mini glue dots. Squish. And then I squeeze that any of that mini glue dot that kind of hangs over that knot, I squish into the knot so the mini glue dot hides underneath that knot. And I mean, like, how cool is that card? You can take that layout and redesign it. You could certainly do that in the portrait version. This is the landscape version. I do not have one of each, but one last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the Wink of Stella, because, you know, I put that stuff on everything, if you know the saying. All right. We're going to shake that up. This is a paper crafter must-have, in my opinion. And we're just going to Wink of Stella this, only the white leaves. Now, if you were to look at this, there are leaf patterns on the back side. We're only doing the ones with the white and the gray. And there is a wide variety of leaves on this particular sheet of cardstock. And can you see that? Does that sparkle? I can't tell. All right, and then I'm going to go do the leaves on the inside of the card. Give that chance. Now this is wet, okay? And it reactivates the ink. So you kind of want to stay within the lines. Now, like I said, we stamped this off. This is its 3rd generation. So this is gray granite. And we don't want it to get too wet, because then it would reactivate that ink and bleed. Okay, so how cool is that? There we go. There you can see the sparkle. So that is the card, and I am going to put the lid on. So who wants a chance to win this card? All you have to do is do a thumbs up or a heart. Then that gets your name entered into the drawing. Leave a comment, and that gets your name. All you have to do is say hi. And if you've never been to my channel, let me know where you're from. It's kind of cool to hear where people are visiting you from. And I mean, I'm in Burnsville, Minnesota, and share this on your timeline. Thank you, Judy. And so this is using the Botanicals Textures Sweet collection that is in the online store. Now, I am going to just kind of take a moment and share with you the things that have been put on the retired list. So if you want to hang around, I'm not going to name names or anything, but I am just going to go kind of fast. This way you can kind of see how many things are leaving the annual catalog. And Stampin' Up! Did change it a little bit from the previous catalog. And so the Designer Series paper is leaving, okay? But they're coming out with new Designer Series paper. They always do that. Hey is leaving. So this is on page 2425. So you can always come back, and now I didn't mark everything, just basically the stamp sets. And a lot of the things like the Sweet collection, sometimes the Sweet collection might retire, but the stamp set and the dies might stay. But I didn't circle everything down here because there's not a lot of space. So yeah, quite a bit of things are retiring out. I mean, I love the stamp set, and very sad it's retiring, but the paper is sticking around, so that's cool. And the gems are also sticking around. Let's see here. These gems are sticking around, and this Designer Series paper. So when it's in a catalog, if it didn't move over to the next catalog, it's going to the online exclusives. And I am so sad that this is retiring. I forgot. I think I need to circle that. This Designer Series paper is sticking around, so that's pretty cool. This ribbon is not retiring, and neither is the, what's it called? Let's see, I have it. Basic Gray and Smoky Slate Pearls. Those are sticking around. This Designer Series paper, or the Sweet, is leaving. I don't think Unbounded Love is, though, but the collection is. This is moving over. The bundles are moving, are retiring. Now the punches are sticking around. So if you see something, say like this and this, it's a bundle when you buy them together, okay? But on the retired list, if one of them is at a discount, check it to see if it's cheaper to buy them separately. So that's a hint. So I'm just kind of going through this. I'm so sad about the pocket dies. I didn't use it enough. So the burgers, the TV, they're going. The butterflies are going. This is sticking around, but it's going in the online store. So, I mean, it could actually, you know, if they don't restock it, it could be something that doesn't live very long past the catalog. Okay, so all these are retiring. Every single thing except for Be My Valentine. This is the Encore. So this is something that they brought back. So all these ones that they brought back, they're retiring. and everything here is retiring. And the only thing that's sticking around is Lifetime of Love. Everything else is retiring. The Trusty Tools is sticking around. Wonderful Words is sticking around. Carolyn, I see you. Welcome. These two stamps are leaving. Everything over here is leaving. The racing car is leaving. This one is leaving. Yes, I'm still alive. And I'm alive too, you know. Let's see. So everything down here is retiring. And that big stamp up there. Everything on this page is retiring. And luckily all that stuff is sticking around. The thank you, or the small business is leaving, but the thank you is sticking around. So this, the designer series paper, these are the designs, but all the colors. So all the colors are retiring. Not only in this designer series paper, not as a family. Happiest Day is leaving. I'm so sad. And let's see here. Both of those are going. Both of those are going. That one, Chantilly Lace. Both of those are going. Everyday Details. Inspirational Sketches. So, yeah, they didn't do very well on here. And I guess I missed the ribbon page. There's the adhesives. A lot of them are embellishments. A lot of these are retiring. So these are on the list. So if you see something and you want it, get it, because a lot of those will sell out quickly. Let's see here. Kindest Expressions is leaving. The Music Jamboree. And Thoughtful Expressions stamp set. Quite a few patterns in the embossing folders are leaving. So the cane, the metal plate, I didn't circle that. The distressed tile, the fern. Let's see, layered florals and timber. I'm so sad. Every time they get a wood one, they always retire it. It makes me grumpy. These two are retiring. And the Color Theory is the color coats, which is available in the online store, is also available in the next catalog as well. So get yours while they can. That helps a lot. And let's see here. The Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moody Mauve, and Pebbled Path. Everything that belongs in that family. Designer series paper, for the most part, re-inkers, blends, ink pads, colored cardstock. It's all being retired. And so there's a list of lots of things that are being retired. So that is the main catalog that is retiring. And here is the spring mini catalog. And like I said, I'm just kind of going through this quickly, just to show you that I didn't mark all the kits and stuff and the ephemera packs because did I mark any of this? Yes, I did. I was just paying attention to the stamp sets because I wanted to pull what I have, and then that way I know that okay, some of these things are going to go to the online store. This whole suite's leaving, and it makes me sad. The embossing folder is sticking around, and the Sunny Day iridescent dots, those are already sold out. Those are gone. And the Sweet Collection is leaving, but not the things individually. Now, the Beautiful Bokeh is also in the next catalog. So that is in the big catalog. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you missed it, if you've placed an order with me since last year, January of 2024, through now, you will automatically get a catalog sent to you. And so this is all moving over, I think, but this for sure. I have the, it's moving to the online store. This stuff is, except for the Designer Series paper. So I have this one more piece right here. And it's like the catalog is saying, here, pick me, pick me. There we go. Back in there, you little itty bitty bokeh mix. Okay. Then, let's see. That Sweet Collection is probably going to be in the online store. The Linked Together stamp set is retiring. And but the masks, I think, are still sticking around. The everything over here is retiring. The dinosaur stamp set is going to be in the online store. This is all retiring. The toadstools made it into the catalog, the annual catalog, the new one. Everything here is retiring except for the punch. And 1 year later is retiring. These guys are retiring. So that is the Spring Mini Catalog. So again, let's look at the card that was made today featuring the Botanical Textures Sweet Collection. That is from the online exclusives. And, oh, that's not my card that we did. I mean, that was my original. So here is the same card. So just a little tiny different, you know, because it's a different piece. And this weave is a circle. So you get different color variances, light and dark. All right, so this is the one that we did. So you get to see the inside of the card. There we go. So you are seriously the best, and the inside says thank you. So thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I am hoping, I didn't get out of work until like 4:30 last Thursday, so hopefully I will get a chance to come back on Thursday. Thursdays seems to be like a bonus. If I'm on Thursday, that's a bonus stamping day. Just because of my schedule, it's, you know, I never know when I'm getting off work. Sunday, obviously, I'm not working. So I can plan my Facebook Lives for a Sunday and not have a problem with it unless I'm out of town. But anyways, Thursday seems to be, you know, if I can, I can. If I can't, then hopefully maybe I could do a Friday night or a Saturday, but we'll see. But like I said, I took everything out and I reorganized and relabeled, and I put, so like this is, I organized my online exclusives. So my Botanical Textures will go in here. So this is an online exclusive spot. Okay, so after I put everything away and clean it up, it'll go in here. So this is all new. So more messages. That's a new stamp set where it's actually one stamp. And I think, I mean, like I said, I got the stuff on Friday. I'm actually probably cut all the words out separately. And then that way I can use these dies. So I haven't played with it yet, but it's an online exclusive. And that starts for May. Then the Spotlight in Nature, it moved to the online exclusive. So again, it's while supplies lasts. And then Tags of Thanks, that's new. And so I haven't played with anything. We're going to use this at the event that is coming out. Or I haven't told anybody. I forgot. this time. Our next event is going to be Saturday, June 7th. And so one of my cards that I'm going to be doing is going to be the Tags of Thanks. And so this is the bundle. And I thought that this was going to be a lot of fun to play with. And so that's new. And what else is new? What else did I get? So I labeled everything here. My other bin, I'll say, new to me is the painted stripes. I just got this in. And like I said, so that is a background. It's an online exclusive. That's new to me. I've been playing with this one for a little bit. So that's the Elements of Text. And so I got this. We got the beautiful, now it's not the beautiful bokeh suite anymore. It's going to be the beautiful butterflies. And then the hybrid embossing folder. That's going to the online exclusive. The Darling Dinos are going online. And the Everyday Arches, that is the online. And then, let's see here. So the Soft Waves, that's going to be in the new catalog. The Exposed Brick is going to be in the new catalog. The Birchwood is going to be. The Dotted Circles. And I just got the Forever Plaid and the Plaster Painting. That's going to be online exclusive. And let's see here. What else? I'm very slow to the game. Nested Essentials. I just got these. This is going to be in the new catalog. These are fun. Oh my goodness, guys. Let me here put this on the back sheet of something so you can see. This is new. I just got this is from the Turtley Awesome Suite or something like that. And these are hexagons, and they're flat, kind of flat hexagons. So they're not really raised too much. So they're probably about the height of, say, the adhesive-backed metallic gems. But they're really fun. It's called Shades of Green Hexagons. And those are on page 124 in the new catalog. And so that's being new. It's one of my pre-orders. Some things I couldn't, I mean, we got a very small list of things that we could pre-order. And let's see. The Timeless Plaid. Timeless Plaid, that is, even though it has the wild wheat in it and the pebbled path, this is being retired. Sorry, this is going to go in the online store. But those two colors are going to be, can't use them anymore. But if you have them, you can certainly use them. And then, let's see here. So like I said, the beautiful bokeh, that's going to go in the catalog. The Country Woods Designer Series paper, even though that has wild wheat in it, is moving over into the catalog. And then here is something that is new. It's called Florals in Bloom. And that is new. So I have quite a few things that are retiring, and I barely have stuff to play with, and I'm really sad. So the Choose Happy that I own, that is going to move over, and it's on page 37. Now this is a new suite. Sorry, yeah, it's a suite, and it's on page 43 in the new catalog. And I haven't had a chance to make a cheat sheet to show you what these look like when they're done up. But this is a mega sweet because this is one bundle and this is another bundle. And so you could do, hello, Joy. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. Let joy bloom. Have a lovely day. You make me smile. And then bloom where you're planted. I think that's great. It's a lovely day. I already said that. Have a lovely day. You know, so that is, these obviously do the lovely and the bloom. And so when you stamp them, they get cut out. And then you can have the outline. So that's part of this designer series paper. And as you can see, there's a lot of cardstock that goes in there. Timid Tiger and Strawberry Slush, those are new. Secret Sea. Excuse me, I got a tickle. Cloud Cover and Darling Duckling. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 colors of the new ink colors that are going to go in this designer series paper. Let's see. Then I told you the Terrific Toadstools made it. The Right Words. This is a new stamp set. And, okay, I need to take a drink. Sorry. All right. But just know how much I love and care about you. I wish I had the right words for a time like this. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. I mean, that could be if somebody's actually physically moving to a different state, or if somebody's moving to a different job, or somebody's going to college. Sending good vibes. You're so kind. A lot. To someone who's worth celebrating every single day. Thanks so much for thinking of me. Happy birthday. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. I mean, like, how perfect is that for a sympathy card? Thinking of you, forever loved, forever remembered, and I miss you already. I mean, that's a standalone. And then I told you the wonderful thoughts and those dies that coordinate with each other are moving over to the new catalog. So those are new. And let's see, what else? I got the in colors. And let's see here. So I only have the 4 ink pads. So Darling Duckling and the Secret Sea and the Strawberry Slush and the Timid Tiger. Cloud Cover's having some issues. Stampin' Up! Does not like the way it is over a period of time. It changes its color, and Stampin' Up! Doesn't like that color that the end result comes out to. You know, because when you stamp something and it's wet, it obviously is different than when it dries and hangs out for a little while. So I don't know what their time frame is, but Stampin' Up! Is not liking it and has it being returned, and they're working on it. It might be something where it doesn't come back. We don't know. Stampin' Up! Hasn't said anything. So they're trying to, get those colors to, work out the way it wants to. So that's the reason why we, as demonstrators, were not able to order. Well, why is that not going in there right? So that's why we demonstrators were not able to pre-order all 5 of them at the same time. And there's an issue with that. Okay. whatever. And then let's see. The Season of Elegance. That is designer series paper that was in the holiday catalog. That is coming back. It made it to the standard catalog. This one has, I mean, it doesn't necessarily say Christmas, but it has cherry cobbler, mossy meadow, and basic beige. Those are the colors. And that's made it. Then the Nests of Winter. Now this one, the stamp set and the dies, everything that belongs in this suite, design, except for the designer series paper, it left. So this one's sticking around, and this was from the kind of like, I liked it in the late fall. I mean, early spring would be good too, I guess. So that's sticking around. And let's see here. What else can I show you? The Otterly Adorable. The otter paper. Yeah, that one stuck around. Which, yeah, so, let's see. So here is the designer series paper. That ribbon is retiring. So the Nests of Winter, that's sticking around. The textured metallic paper, that's sticking around. The glimmer paper, I did not see that on the list. And then, Spotlight on Nature, but these colors are retiring, so I should redo that sheet. And then, then something that is new. This is really pretty. This is the Flower Garden foils, and it comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets. Okay, and it's only one-sided, but as you can tell, there's three colors of each design. And so this is Cloud Cover, and then Pretty in Pink, and then Strawberry Slush. And so that's what they look like without the glare. I'm trying to get that so you could see that better. So I think I have everything that I was able to pre-order that I wanted. And now I have to put everything back because I reorganized things. Let's see. What else? Like the window sheets are sticking around, the gold and silver paper, the textured. Yeah, so I think I got everything. Yep. So hopefully you enjoyed the little sneak peek of some of the new stuff, and kind of like if you had your eye caught on something, for, on the retiring list, the last chance products. I mean, I think the boho blue is all gone, and the re-inker. So if you want something, a nice sparked, go get it. Because once it's gone, and it's not coming back. So again, thank you for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I hopefully will be back on Thursday with a fun new card. And do a thumbs up and do a heart. Get entered to win that card. Share. Thank you. I appreciate it for all the likes and the thanks and the thumbs up and the sharing. That, means so much to me. That helps me out a lot. Take care. Have a great week, and happy stamping.